Welcome to Scale Your Empire, the podcast that elevates your business game. Meet your guides to greatness. Your hosts, Darshan and Rejin.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Scale the Empire with Rejin and Darsh. And we bring in some of the most amazing entrepreneurs in our society who is really scaling and building their businesses. And today we have none other than the man himself, George Samios. Okay, so George, thank you for coming, man. By the way, George, my friends, has 13 or 14 years ago, he was introduced to the bank by his mother, believe it or not. And since then, he's fallen in love with mortgage broking and the finance industry. And he has closed, this is, by the way, crazy, 2 billion. That's right. That's B worth of loans in the last few years. And the most amazing thing about George is that he's not just the top mortgage broker, but he's actually managed to build a company around himself, which is the Mad Loans. And he's building an amazing brand with an amazing culture, with an awesome team. And I think he's currently established in Queensland, but I think he's looking to expand to New South Wales and Victoria very soon. So watch this space. And thank you for coming on, my friend. George, how are you doing, man?
My pleasure. Thank you very much for the big introduction. I appreciate it. It's good to be on the show. Good to be on the show, gentlemen.
Awesome. Man, we just want to quickly start off. As you know, most of our audience is, obviously they have a business, but they're looking to scale and, all that kind of stuff. So we just want to start off with, you were a mortgage broker for a long period of time, and then you decided to go from there to not just doing it by yourself, but decided to start a company, start a business, build a team, and scale the business, right? So what made you think that way, and how did you go down that path?
Well, look, mate, I think there's not many people in this world that can be a part of something which is A, scalable, B, profitable, but also C, something that you're passionate about, and all in all, something that really helps people. And that's what I feel like I've sort of got myself into. And really, ultimately, we are the sum of our experiences. And how I even got into this industry, like you said earlier, was my mum was in the finance game doing home loans for one of the banks in Australia. Before that, I was actually in real estate. And I reckon that's my true passion, is property. And what I do, mortgage broking, is a vehicle, as we all know, to buy more property. And I really love helping people. That makes me happy, and it gives me a good feeling inside. And so all these have all aligned and really enabled me to build a business which I believe makes a difference daily. Excuse the pun. As you know, MAD stands for Make a Difference Daily. So, I mean, did I ever, when I started the thing, did I want to grow to where we are? I left the bank because I didn't like looking my client in the eyes and saying this is the best deal in Australia, because I knew that it wasn't. So I also didn't like that once I did a mortgage, they really wanted me to sell them a credit card or loan protection or a personal loan, or, try and sell as many products per client, they call it in a bank. And so I never was really, even though I was smashing my targets, writing more than all the other lenders, I was one of the lowest paid ones because I was so young. I was only 21 working in the bank. And I had, associates that were working the same job as me, getting paid 20, 30 grand more. It wasn't fair. Now, you could either cop it or do something about it. Now, that's why I reckon change happens when you're uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable. I reckon I was put on the earth to do more. I was seriously motivated. I think, let's not underestimate this. For you to have a big business and for you to scale it, you have to be motivated. There's no question about that, which means you're uncomfortable or you got fire in you from something in your past. But yeah, when I quit the bank, I actually didn't, to be honest with you, want to grow a massive business. I just didn't like the situation I was in. The barriers to entry for mortgage broking was pretty easy. I had all the experience. And I worked out, to be honest with you, I had 40 grand to my name. I had a mortgage of 463,000. I was 23 years old, and I worked out that I only need to make 50 grand a year. In a worst case scenario, I move home and rent out my unit. That was my mindset. I mean, that's probably a fortnight's wages these days. So that's a bit of a history about that.
Wow. Yeah, that's so amazing, George. I really like what you talked about, like, the scalability, profit, and the passion. Like, having the right mix of it is so important, man. Really appreciate that you were able to find that.
Yeah.
Reg, you touched on it earlier. I'm actually doing loans all over the country because COVID enabled that with the way we're doing a call right now. So 60% of appointments that we do in the business are on Teams or Zoom. So we don't have to see clients face to face like we used to do once upon a time, which has opened it up to national exposure, which, yeah, you're right. We've settled $2 billion of loans in 13 years, but we're on track to do $1 billion for the year. It shows you how fast we're actually growing. So it took us 13 years to hit 2 billion, but we're probably going to write that this calendar year with the volumes that we're submitting as a team now, because there is a team. I'm not writing loans anymore. I had to stop doing that about 18 months ago, even though there's nothing I'm more passionate about than sitting with a first home buyer, telling them how to buy property. But the business demanded me to step up and grow and lead us in the right direction. And that's what my job is now.
That's awesome. I'm going to come back to that. That's a really, really big one you mentioned there. But before I go there, I just want to quickly ask you a quick one. So when you first decided you were an amazing mortgage broker by yourself, you're killing it, okay, and you loved it. But then you decided, I'm going to start a team. I'm going to build a business, start a team. So it's a completely different ballgame from there on, right? So what were your initial challenges when you decided to do that? From finding the right people and actually building a team?
When you're a mortgage broker, there's a lot of work to do, like any small business owner, and most mortgage brokers are. Administration, marketing, compliance, payroll, you've got HR, PR, you got that much stuff you need to do, as well as your job, which is writing loans. In the start, you wear all the hats. And it really does limit how much loans you can write. So I started employing people pretty early. Actually, after 6 months, I started building a team. My first employee was a lady called Tamara. And then soon after, when I could afford, I brought my mum in. So I got her out of the bank and I got her part of the team because my mum was a very hard worker. And of course, she was the whole reason I got into lending. But she couldn't work for free. I had to pay her the same salary the bank was paying her. And then so with the team, it enables you to write more loans. It means that I'm not the only person that is everything is relying on, of course. Now, the more probably where you want to go to is how did I get myself off the tools? Now, not many people in my industry have managed to get themselves off the tools. Now, I didn't get into the industry to get myself out. It sort of just happened. And it happened in a way which this is exactly what happened, right? I had some beautiful staff, Costa, Kathy, and I have got a heap coming through the ranks right now. Now, these people, I created a bit of a roadmap to a mortgage broker. So they started off as a research analyst, and then we credit analyst, and then a senior one. Now, if I don't give these people the opportunity to become a mortgage broker, the risk is there's very low barriers to entry. They'll become a mortgage broker for themselves. And I actually developed such strong relationships with my staff, my team, that it was almost like if they left, I almost wouldn't want to be doing it anymore. So I thought about it long and hard, and I thought, how can I keep these people involved, but not let them be a mortgage broker the traditional way? The traditional way is you're by yourself, no support. Whereas I know that when I became the number one mortgage broker in the country, I was a broker with a support team underneath. How could I upgrade one of my support team to broker? And I don't want to leave him hanging. I want to give him the perfect recipe that I had, because that is the best way to run a mortgage broking business with all this support processes, procedures. Unbelievable process is what I've built in 13 years. I thought about it long and hard, and I developed it, and that's how I've managed to keep my staff, and now I've got about 15 future mortgage brokers in this business working their way up to broker.
That's brilliant, man. Brilliant.
Yeah, I really love the way that you scaled it, George. Amazing. Like the way you're able to create systems, it's unbelievable. Judge, one very important thing when we are trying to scale businesses, most of us come across a lot of mistakes, failures, and challenges. All right. So, what were some of your mistakes, and what did you get to learn from them?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing, my mindset around mistakes is learning. It doesn't matter if it costs you hundreds of thousands of dollars; it's still a learning, and that's how some of the best improvements in the business has been made, is from making a mistake, but learning from it and getting better at it. I mean, I suppose the most recent one I did was last year. We really grew. I reckon we've doubled in the probably last 24 months in turnover, and also the team. And, we have to get dashboards now, so because I can't actually see what's really happening on the bottom floor, and the leads coming in, and the conversions, and the credit analyst conversion, the broker conversion, and how long they're taking to do deals and stuff. And that wasn't necessary when I was a broker myself, because I had my finger on the pulse with every deal, and I every morning would do a huddle with my own credit analyst, and I know exactly where everything was at. Now I'm sort of a few steps back, so it's hard for me to see. So we've had to really find out what technology is available there, and make performance visible with dashboards, and you can see what people are doing, how many deals they've got on the go, and like a domino sort of stuff going on dashboards. And so the mistake was, last year I put on a lot of consultants, external CFOs, advisory people, and there's a lot of consultants. And before you knew it, I was spending quite a lot of money, and I got the humility to share it, because it was something that didn't destroy me whatsoever, but it was a very expensive exercise to go through. But in the learning from it was, I got to where I am, not from myself, definitely a team effort, but you can go down this one path of just getting all these consultants and coaches and stuff, and it firstly puts a very big hole in your pocket, but actually you're just forever in meeting. And so I was a bit lost, and it was all overwhelming for me. And so I just stopped all of it. Within a week, I'd stopped about maybe 7 people. I said, guys, I need space. And it really just opened me back up again to profitability, but also just getting things done. Because at the end of the day, I feel like what got me here was thinking it, doing it, not thinking about it too much and discussing it, just actually doing it. And if I make a mistake and trip and fall, learn, move on. Too many meetings, too much thinking wasn't my style.
Brilliant. Yeah. That definitely makes sense, man. So I just want to touch on, George, just change some gears a little bit and touch on your, build sales and marketing. And, one of the most important parts of scaling businesses, right? And I see you on Insta, see you on LinkedIn. You're pretty cool on your marketing and even the brand MAD. I like the way you marketed it. You wanted to talk a little bit about, first of all, how did you come up with MADD, MAD, and MAD loans, and which is a catchy name. And then once you did that, what are your marketing strategies, and how you're getting to the right people?
Look, my mother actually thought of the name MAD. I wanted to call it something silly like Pinnacle Finance, which would have been a big mistake. She's pretty good with those sort of things, and she was SMSing me all these names, and MAD stuck out. And it's been a godsend, because Make a Difference Daily is definitely what we stand for, and it is catchy, like you said, mate. With all the marketing you see, everything I do, I mean, I'm always I like to keep things professional. I got my core values. I mean, we've got folders. Everything always looks really clean. And as you know, we've got branded minis. I've done TV. I've done radio. I've done billboards. I've done cinema advertising. You name it, I've spent money on it. But the biggest referral source for this business for the last 13 years, and we track it weekly, and if this is a line graph, this is client referral, this is repeat clients, and the rest, Google, Facebook, Instagram. It's like this.
Yeah.
And so, yes, it appears like, my God, they're spending a fortune on market. The truth of the matter is, team, you build a business in 2024 by client referrals. You look after your client. You make them walk out of that. If you're a service industry, a product industry, for us in service, they walk out of this boardroom or even the teams meeting feeling like we understand them 100% and we've given them 1,000 times more value than we actually should be. And that is how you build a business right now. Yes, I think in the future, it's becoming more and more and more important to be crazy on Instagram and Facebook. But the truth is, Instagram is not giving me this many deals a week. It's client referrals, repeat clients, and that is literally like that. It's not even comparable. We do it to stay relevant, and I feel like to connect with our community. And I think it is a nice way for people to, be referred, but also check us out, verify us. And I am trying to put out good content to people. But at the end of the day, mate, you just got to be the best at your job. And that's how you go to a restaurant. That's a great restaurant. Go check it out. Google reviews and so on. That's my take on it. Anyway.
That is brilliant, man.
Yeah, unbelievable, George. The way that you explained to us how important it is to deliver value to your clients, okay, and what an impact it can have on your marketing. It can be sometimes both the ways. If you do a pretty crappy job, it'll have a very bad marketing impact. Whereas when you over deliver, when you add value, it can really make a bigger impact. So just on that particular subject, George, in what way do you add value to your clients? Why are you so unique and different when compared to other mortgage brokers and others?
So before I answer that question, I am fixated on this company never having a bad experience, no matter what. So if something, and look, we're all human, mistakes happen. But it's a very transparent office. If something goes wrong, we made a mistake and it costs money, I put my hand in my pocket. I don't want the client to ever have bad feelings about us. Because if you let one customer walk away negative, they'll tell everyone. And they might tell 10. But these days, they'll put it on Google. And then they'll actually share it with thousands of potential new clients. So it's important to never let not even one customer be upset with you. Now, we're very fortunate that we've got over 530, I think, 5-star Google reviews. Never had, knock on wood, a bad Google review yet. And I'm grateful for our clients to have such good feedback. And that is, of course, transpired to the client referral being our number one source of business. So to answer your question, what is the secret recipe for Mr. Colonel's chicken for mad loans? When you work for a bank, mate, or most mortgage brokers are fixated on selling a product. Or actually, I'll you know what? I'm going to answer it like this. Me and you two are bricklayers. There's 3 bricklayers. And I ask you, what's your job? You say, I'm a bricklayer. I do it to make money. I ask you next, what's your job? I'm a bricklayer. I'm doing it to make money for my family to send them to school. That's good. You ask the 3rd bricklayer, what do you do? I'm building a church. It's all about perspective. I am not a loan administrator, all right? I help people make their dreams come true by buying property, by building wealth through property, and I believe that 100%. It's no doubt in my brain that I'm going to help you unconditionally with all the wisdom that I've learned over the last 15 years writing loans. I will help you 100%, and that has gone through the whole company, from when you answer the phone to one of our onboarding girls, to the research analysts, to the credit analysts, to the senior credit analysts, to the brokers, to our post-settlement team. We all are grateful for your business, and we go above and beyond, not just talk about a loan. In a meeting that goes for this long, that's how much we talk about interest rates. The rest is serious education to give you the confidence to go buy, to network you with the right other people, building investment inspectors, lawyers. Did you know when you buy, you have to watch out for this? Do you understand what that means? Body corporate is this. Stamps is that. Rate adjustments, water adjustments. We fully go above and beyond, are very visual with our clients. And ultimately, we want them to walk out going, 100% understand what I'm doing now. That's the difference.
Amazing.
Yeah. I really love how you said in your business, the interest rates are only this much, that discussion about interest rates, but having a bigger impact, in making people's dream come true, and the way that everyone in the business, just not the business owner, believes in it. That's a really key point.
We all believe in it. I mean, at the end of the day, my office, the average age is 20-something. We're all very young. And even these kids, mate, are 21 and they have got $1 million properties. Some people have got 3, 9 properties. We're heavily invested in real estate. We believe in it. So we're actually practicing what we preach to our clients. We know how to do it. We're doing it ourselves. So that makes a big difference when trying to help someone build a property portfolio or buy through their super fund. How could you give advice if you don't own a property through your super fund? How can you tell someone how to buy commercial property if you don't own commercial property? How can you relate? So we're big on doing it ourselves and then sharing that information with you in a way which completely understands to the average Aussie.
Yeah. That's one of the things I want to ask you as well. You are pretty amazing. You're pretty amazing with yourself. Where you give massive value, and that's who you are, right? And that's you've been doing for 13 years. But how do you do that with a new person who comes into the business? When you have 30, 40, 50 staff, how do you instill that same ethics and beliefs and everything into them?
So yesterday morning, I had a pod breakfast with my pod leaders. So, for example, if you're a mortgage broker in the business, you've got a little pod underneath you with about 3 staff. So every pod, the financial planning pod or residential mortgage broker pod or the commercial broker pod, and then the operations manager pod have their own, staff, but we call them pod leaders. And so once a month, we catch up with them. We go through how we check in with them, family, personal, business. What are problems that they're seeing in their little business, we call it. And is there anything we can share with the wisdom of all of our heads together? And that's very much because really it's hard to manage 30 people, right? They say you can only manage as many people as you can share a pizza with, which I believe is true. I mean, 3, 4 people is a lot to work with, let alone 30. So of course, we give the responsibility to the brokers to manage their staff. A lot of help from our operations team, but keeping in big contact. We do a lot of culture stuff. I mean, we do mad barbecues, which is like a Greek Suvla thing every 3 months with the staff, with the bank suppliers or BDMs, we call them. We do culture days just with the staff. So we do a lot of different things. I think the most recent one we did, we're going to do bowling next, but we often go to the Camp Hill Bowlsy, have a couple of beers and just hang out as a team. Or we go to lunches and stuff like this. I mean, we often do a lot of culture, team bonding stuff with the team. Because really, I spend more time with these people than my own family. So it's important that we are, in fact, the family. Not to mention that we actually eat lunch together every single day. So I have a chef, come in, prepare lunch for the whole team every day. And so every day we sit together as a family anyway. This morning was a baby shower for one of the ladies, our marketing manager. She's having a baby in a couple of weeks. So we put on a baby shower for her, which was lovely. And so there's a lot, mate. I mean, I pay more super than the government. If you work at MAD, 11% standard. If you put in 5%, I'll match it. Because I want to help my staff get ahead. I want them to buy another property through super. And so there's a lot of different things that we're doing to show them with actions that we care, not just words.
Wow.
Yeah, that's really big.
George, whatever you mentioned just there, man, this is what most people miss out on. Building a community, not just a business. So I think you've done an amazing job in building a community, and that you're getting the rewards of that. And I'm sure you're going to, get that in the future as well. So, yeah.
Cool. George, when you talked a lot about your team, all right, and I love how you have such hungry, amazing people, all right. So what exactly do you do to make sure you attract these A players? What kind of recruitment do you do? How do you make sure that they would love to work with MAD?
Mate, it's funny. Like the business, when I first started, I used to go out and hunt business. I would go to a trade show, get 1,000 people to go into the competition to win the barbecue, and I would call them to see if they would want to refinance. I was chasing. But after a couple of years, the business became an attraction business and people would call us. And now I have 2 full-time ladies at the front just taking phone calls and booking meetings. I got back from New Zealand last Thursday and the girl said on Wednesday was one of the busiest as they booked 21 appointments in the one day. So it's become an attraction business. Now, even with the staff, most of the people who work here, I didn't put on Seek. We do use a recruiter as well, but most of the staff actually reached out to us through our website on our careers page. And that's how we got most of the people.
The only thing is when you're getting all these people applying, is there any specific thing? Because, the challenge then becomes you got 100 people and probably maybe 4 or 5 are actually suited to your business and culture and stuff. So Do you have any particular sorting system?
No, look, we don't have that many, we don't have hundreds of people applying, but the problem I've got now is we have the leads and meetings coming in to require more stuff. I reckon I could use 6 to 10 more people, but I had a problem with room. I mean, we've filled up this whole office, and I've been hunting for more office space, and I finally have done a deal, and I'm grateful to say we've got a new, bigger office. So once I get that, then I'm going to put on a lot more people to sort of cope with the massive volume that we're getting. And so, yeah, we don't have the best, I suppose, we don't have a HR manager working in-house to go through resumes and stuff. It's just sort of my job and the operations manager. But, it's good to get people that actually want to work here because they've heard of what it's like.
Awesome. I really love how the mindset is towards attraction, not just chasing, both for clients as well as for team members. Because what conveys is, George, that you do attract higher quality people. Be it with clients as well, the conversion will be so much more better when it's attraction. And the same thing with team members as well. You get to have the cream of the crop.
Yeah, good
That's
people.
So
good people. Yeah, absolutely,
cool.
mate. I mean, yeah, like when you write a loan for a good person, you get all their good friends and their good family. I'm a big believer in that. And even with good people who work here, you get their good friends and family who want to work here as well. And so that's what we try to do. Look after people and good things happen.
Also, Joe, look, every now and then when you're building a big team, there's a lot of people coming in and all that kind of stuff. Every now and then you find someone who is probably not the right fit, and it's also causing some issues with other team members and all that kind of stuff. I'm sure every business has some experience with that. So what's your take on that? Because this is something which most scaling businesses face as well. So how do you deal with that kind of scenario?
Look, I struggle with this one because I don't like negativity, and you know me for that. And so, I mean, a way that I've found to move people on is actually I take them for coffee or lunch, and I say, look, I can tell that you aren't enjoying this place. And in life, we all deserve to be happy and to do something which we're truly passionate about. Now, you're a good person, but are you passionate about what you do at MAD? If you had a magic wand, what would you do? And this one guy says to me, no, I didn't think I was going to be behind a screen for the rest of my life. And I never actually in my life thought of myself as being behind a computer, but you know what? I am on the computer a lot, and so are you, and so is a lot of people in this industry. And I said, so what would you want to do? And he says, I sort of saw myself as teaching English in Thailand or Bali. And I said, well, that's what you should do. Let me help you. What's holding you back? Money, this, that. I said, mate, I'll pay you a month. You should go and do that. And I've had those conversations multiple times, and people sometimes get stuck in the wrong job, the wrong industry. And so rather than micromanage them out, which I'm transparent, I say, listen, you're not where we need to be, but I know that's because you're a good guy or woman, but it's because you're not passionate about it. And I can sense that. So I don't really want to speak to you twice a day and micromanage like the banks do. I'd prefer to help you on the next step for you. And, that one person I spoke to about in Bali who's teaching English now he's met his partner over there. And so he was never supposed to stay here. So I fundamentally believe that we were all meant to do something. That's how this world works. So rather than just be completely not caring and micromanage, of course, if there's something that's completely wrong and 100% against your core values of your business, then that's different. See you later. There's no place for you here. But if they're a good person, they're just not performing, and you can tell that they're truly not passionate about what you're doing, that's my approach, has been to sort of go a bit deeper, give them my time and actually help them on that next move. And I found that's that's how I do it, whether it's right or wrong. I mean, that's just how I've been doing it.
Absolutely. Yeah. I like the transition part of it, not just hanging them, leaving them hanging. Instead of it, understanding their purpose and helping them with the transition. That's something very, very few business owners do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So George, man, we can keep talking to you forever, man, but we just obviously coming to the end of time. So we're just going to ask you a quick question, okay? If you had a chance again, and if you had a chance to build it again from the beginning, is there anything you would do different to what you're currently doing?
I wouldn't change a thing for the world because
Okay.
I'm very grateful for where I am in life and the people I've helped and the situation that I've put myself and my family into. I wouldn't change a thing, Reg. Everything. And there's been so many failures, so many mistakes, so much wasted money, but it was all learning. And I wouldn't be the man I am sitting here right now if I didn't go through that. And I'm very happy with the man that sits here right now. So I wouldn't change a thing.
Amazing, man. Look, that was an amazing chat, George. And I know you do something called as Mad Lunch and Learn. I love that concept, and you genuinely help businesses and people to educate themselves with this part. So, do you want to just talk about a little bit about that? What is that all about, and how people can tap into that?
A Mad Lunch and Learn developed last year. I go into workplaces like I've done PwC, B105, Channel 7, Channel 9. Heaps of medium-sized businesses and small businesses, real estate agencies, you name it. I even go into the bank sometimes, and I talk about everything that anyone in the room could be at in their life journey, whether they're a first home buyer, they want to buy investment property, they want to get into commercial, they want to buy property through super, they want to pay off their loan faster, they want to send their kids to private schools. I do all that, plus I bring free pizza. So there's the carrot for everyone. What I do is I go into workplaces with free pizza and do a mad presentation. And I'm very proud that, sometimes there's 50 people and 35 people will want to book an appointment with us after because they weren't thinking about buying. We got them thinking about buying and they want to know what they can borrow. They didn't even think that the interest rate when they came to me after the presentation, they showed me their rate. And you can save them 10 grand a year. They were thinking about buying an investment property, but this was that extra nudge. So then they book a meeting to do a free valuation to see what equity they've got to buy the next one. So it's a great thing. I love it. I mean, I'm not on the tools anymore. So this is my way of sort of getting people to the business, but also, honestly, I believe in just trying to help as many people as I can. So I like it. If anyone out there has got a business with 15 or more people and would like me to come in there with some free pizzas and do one of these lunch and learns, please reach out through the website, mad.com.au. There's a lunch and learn section on there, and you can see what we talk about there. And there's no pressure. It's just trying to teach some people some stuff.
Amazing, man. We'll leave some your website link on the link here as well. And also you're on George Samios _MADD on LinkedIn, on Instagram.
Instagram, yeah.
I think that's a pretty cool page to follow as well. There's a lot of stuff you share there as well. I actually follow that myself. And
yeah,
man, thanks, you, George. I really appreciate your time, and I know how busy you are, but all the best. And thank you for coming on, and looking forward to this incredible growth Matt is going to have in the next 5 to 10 years. And can't wait to see you take it to the next level, my friend.
Well, thank you very much. You guys are entrepreneurs yourself, and you guys have got an awesome business. So thank you for getting me on your podcast. I appreciate it anytime.
Thanks
a lot. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.
Talk soon.
Thanks for listening to Scale Your Empire. Help spread the wisdom by liking and sharing this podcast. And we'd love to hear your views in the comments. Now, go out there, take action, and elevate your empire.